Greetings, and welcome to We Found You. Today, we're going to take a look at a person who has drank the non-binary Kool-Aid and vomited it back out onto the internet in typical social justice warrior fashion. Let's see what we can do.
Hey guys, it's Riley, and welcome to my channel on this lovely Tuesday.
Oh, hi, Riley!
Today's trans education video is going to be based around pronouns, the importance of pronouns, stuff about pronouns.
Could you say pronouns again for me?
Pretty much everything pronouns. And I want to talk about pronouns because pronouns are incredibly important to validate somebody's identity, and they're incredibly important to people in general. We use pronouns all the time, and they're a very important part of society itself. The first thing I wanted to talk about is the validation of someone's identity. When you misgender someone or use the wrong pronouns for them, it's saying that they are not perceived as a certain gender no matter how they are trying to be perceived as such.
That is absolutely correct. Why is it a problem to use pronouns appropriate for how you perceive someone?
Whether they're presenting as the gender or not, someone's pronouns are their pronouns, and their pronouns need to be respected.
Says who? I don't think that someone's pronouns need to be respected, and as a matter of fact, this concept of respecting pronouns has only come around in the past few years or so, and it's just obnoxious. You people are obnoxious.
And with that, I say if you don't know someone's pronouns, and it doesn't matter what you think they are, if they have not told you their pronouns, you don't know their pronouns. So I'd suggest sticking with they, them, or gender-neutral pronouns.
Thanks for the suggestion. I'm going to totally disregard that.
And there are people that will argue with you and say, oh, well, using they, them isn't proper, but...
Yeah, because grammar doesn't matter anymore.
Let me give you an example. We use they, them pronouns all the time. When you see a backpack laying down and you don't see anybody around it, you say, oh, they left their backpack there.
Well, that certainly depends on the situation. If I saw a woman leave a backpack laying on the ground in this hypothetical situation, and she walked away from it, and I wanted to talk about it, I would most likely say she left her backpack there.
You don't immediately go into gendering whose backpack that is. So really, we use they, them pronouns, gender-neutral pronouns all the time, and people are just being assholes if they refuse to use them because they're improper. And someone's pronouns may be completely different from the way they appear. Someone's pronouns are basically used to reinforce the gender identity that they identify with. So it could be completely different from the traditional expression of gender that they choose to use. Someone could use she, her pronouns, female pronouns, but present masculine.
Well, that person is just a delusional idiot.
And that's an okay thing to do. And assigned sex at birth, assigned gender at birth has absolutely nothing to do with pronouns.
That is absolutely untrue in every conceivable way. What?
People traditionally tend to use female or male pronouns depending on what they were assigned at birth, especially if they're cisgender and their birth gender correlates with their gender identity.
So many buzzwords. Can you give me more buzzwords?
But it's important to recognize that not everybody is like that. The next thing I wanted to talk about is that it's incredibly hurtful and rude if someone's pronouns are blatantly disrespected.
Oh no! You hurt my feelings!
This has happened to me a lot, especially when I was coming out, not so much now, but people would refuse to use male pronouns or he, him pronouns when referring to me.
So you're saying that you were born biologically female. I want to thank you for clearing that up, because you look too young to have been exposed to the movie It's Cat. But the amount of confusion going on here was pretty high. I really honestly had no idea.
They would stick with she, her pronouns. They would use female pronouns in any aspect they got, no matter how many times I asked and corrected them nicely and said, hey, my pronouns are he, him, his.
Those monsters.
And it's incredibly rude and hurtful, and it can affect someone's mental health and how they feel about themselves, and it's just not a good time.
Well then, that person who was so deeply affected by someone using what they deem to be the inappropriate pronouns for whatever crazy gender identity they have chosen for themselves is weak-minded and obviously has self-esteem problems anyway. This person should probably seek therapy in order to work out their issues, rather than deciding that society, using pronouns they don't approve of, is causing them great mental stress.
Accidentally screwing up and then quickly apologizing, correcting yourself, and moving on is one thing, but then deliberately doing it over and over again is another.
And here what you're requesting is that the world around you change their behavior so that we can make you feel more comfortable. You want everyone else to change the way that they speak, just so you can feel like a special person. And I actually believe that you probably prefer that people don't, because if everyone started giving in to this craziness, you would have nothing to gripe about. You would have no complaint, and suddenly you would find yourself in a place where you can't whine about being persecuted anymore. Or maybe you would just continue to make things up.
And if you screw up someone's pronouns, odds are it's better to just correct yourself quickly. If you realize that if they correct you, just correct yourself, say, "Oops, sorry," move on. Making a big deal out of it, especially in front of a bigger group of people, is not always a good idea because it's singling that individual out.
Yes, so why is it that you people keep making such a big deal out of this?
And it can make them incredibly uncomfortable, and odds are it'll make you uncomfortable too. The last thing I wanted to touch on is that you do not get to choose somebody else's pronouns. No matter what you think they are, no matter what this person looks like, you don't get to choose.
That's actually correct. I don't get to choose. Neither do you. Neither do they. Biology chose.
If someone tells you their pronouns, those are their pronouns.
Okay, so in that case, I'm going to pull out this old cliche, and there are many of us who identify in this way, and I would like you to refer to me as the Master God of the Universe. That is my pronoun for everything. If I leave my backpack laying around, you say, "Oh, Master God of the Universe left Master God of the Universe's backpack laying there."
And you don't have a choice in that. Just like you don't get to decide someone's gender,
You're correct here. You don't get to decide someone's gender.
you don't get to decide someone's pronouns. It's just how the other person is, it's how they identify, and that's their business, not yours, and you have to respect that.
I don't have to respect anything. Certainly not this craziness.
And there are different pronouns.
That's true, you people just keep coming up with them. I don't even know how long the list is at this point, but it's getting pretty ridiculous, and no one's ever going to take the time to memorize all of this stuff. Plus, with as many as there are out there, even in a world where everyone else, all of the same people, decided to try to adopt this policy, it would be absolutely impossible to get it right with everyone, considering the vast amount of crazy pronouns you people have come up with.
He, him, his, they, them, theirs, she, her, hers, sie, them, their. There are a lot of pronouns that are coming to use that are gender neutral or no gender, and it's important to recognize and educate yourself on the pronouns. I don't have enough knowledge on all the non-binary pronouns, but I'm sure you could look it up.
That's so great. It's so important to educate yourself on all of these pronouns, but you didn't take the time to educate yourself on these pronouns. Good job.
And there'd be a lot of information there and ready at hand for you to listen to. And that's really all I wanted to say. I just wanted to touch on pronouns, let you guys know that they are incredibly important and everything like that.
Yeah.
I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and if you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and comment down below what are your pronouns.
Well, from this point on, the video simply devolves into asking for likes and subscriptions and all of that jazz. So I'm going to cut you off here. Thank you, Riley Kyle, for educating us on this nonsense. I'll be sure to keep it in mind, or not. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please take the time to like, subscribe to this channel, and as usual, comment away, my friends. Comment away.